Hello. This is intended to just be a quick walkthrough of how at least I've been generating um, Unity projects that are compatible with GitHub, or just Git in general. Um, Most of this is just applying tutorials that other people have put together, but figured that a video form of this might be useful. So the first thing I wind up doing when creating a new project is to create it in Unity, because Unity is a pain in the butt about creating projects when the folders already exist. So I give it the initiative to do that. So just spinning it up, just figure might as well close out. It's generated the folder and the files needed. So then going over to GitHub Desktop, wind up feeding it. No, that's junk. Feeding it the folder name. I'm lazy and just tell it to add a path, even though that's ultimately just going to lead to creating, but just with this awkward name local path pair. Wind up just giving it a default git ignore that will be overwritten with stuff that is Unity specific. That just gives an easy file to modify. To get to that file, you wind up going to repository settings, and you can edit this directly, just as a way to submit it. This was one that was recommended. I made just very minor modifications to it, mostly creating just the concept of an output folder. That's completely ignored, so builds can go into that. So either way, update the git ignore, so this importantly winds up ignoring temp and library, which is just full of junk, as well as the various Visual Studio intermediate files that get generated while working with Unity, because none of that is actual source. So with that, we've got a significant bulk of the important changes made. So going into Unity and just opening our project back up. The only reason I closed it was just general paranoia. Right, in here we have some very important project settings to change for the editor. So for these, we want visible meta files. Make sure to change that. And we want forced text asset serialization. With that, I'll just sanity check the list here. Don't need that. Already did that. Already did that. And at that point, we just have to save. So, yeah, just go for it. Just out of paranoia. That'll work for now. Change it later. Version control, yeah. So in here, just get this committed. This is currently just local. You could just go ahead and publish it. And nothing too fancy. Sometimes this field is, I mean, it's just a general GitHub desktop thing. Sometimes that field isn't populated and you have to pick yourself, which is just annoying. And at that point, we get uploaded to the website, and everything is honky-dory. At that point, we have a project which should be compatible. Oh, there is one more thing, and it is mentioned in this tutorial here. This concept of Git large files support, or large file storage, rather. For just, I haven't bothered with it for some of the projects that I've worked on. Or, I mean, I've made attempts to use it, but haven't confirmed whether or not it was actually working. But yeah, if you're working with a lot of large files, then by all means, make sure to check this out. There seems to be, with respect to that, strong support for it in the GitHub desktop. In the repository settings, wind up seeing this git LFS tab. And so I could add, you know, yeah, Photoshop files, sure. Just wind up creating a list of file filters that will wind up going through this separate approach, and it's fully described. I don't actually know if this setup is necessary. Again, for tiny projects, probably not needed. And that is pretty much it. Yeah, those editor settings are kind of the critical part. Oh, and the git ignore, just to avoid all the junk. Alright, at the end of that ramble, hopefully that was helpful in some fashion. Well, thanks for watching.